Chapter 10. Trusting God. When Eva left her home that September morning, she knew not where to go, nor what it would mean to her, but she started out trusting in the Lord, who was more to her than anything else in the world. As he had answered her prayers so many times, she felt assured that he would not fail her now. Again and again his promise in Psalm 27:10 came to her. When my father and my mother forsake me, then the Lord will take me up. It was 14 miles to St. Elmo, but she bent her steps toward the good pastor and his faithful wife, for she felt that in them she would find true friends, and they could also instruct her as to what course to pursue in the future. On foot, alone, without one penny in her purse, she trudged along, not knowing how she should get to their place. But she had made her choice, and was trusting God to take care of her. She was scarcely more than 1 mile from home when a car passed, and she recognized their neighbor, Mr. Blyler. He stopped and invited her to ride, an invitation which she gladly accepted. As she sat down in the soft cushioned seat, her heart filled to overflowing, and she burst into tears. Feeling that an explanation was due, she told Mr. Blyler her story, and his tears fell with hers. She related how her father had treated Mr. Rhodes, and what he had said about her, even to the remark that the devil himself could not do anything with her. Mr. Blyler sat very quiet for some time, so overcome by emotion that he did not try to speak. They drove for some time when at last he spoke. "Well, Eva, you know I do not make any profession of religion at all. But if I understand anything about it, if you have got to the place where the devil himself can't do anything with you, it seems to me you are in a good place for the Lord to use you. For I have always heard that the two can't work together, and you have to be the servant of one or the other. I do not understand how your father can take the stand that he has against his own child, and one who is as frail as you are. If you were strong and able to work and make your way, it would not seem so heartless to me. My home is not much, but such as it is I offer to you, and you are welcome to stay with me as long as you care to. I am sure that you will have to do more than I feel that you have done for me to push you out." Reaching his hand down into his pocket, he drew forth a bill which he handed to Eva, saying, "I do not intend to see you start out without a penny either. Here, take this, and remember, if you ever need a friend, you will find one in your old neighbor." Eva hesitated. She did not know whether to accept the money or not. "Why do you hesitate?" inquired Mr. Blyler. "Do you expect the Lord to come down and rain money into your lap when you need it? You surely need money now, and you are welcome to what I have offered you, and I shall feel much better if you take it." At this, Eva took a $10 bill from his hand. The most money she had ever had as her own. How she thanked him for it. But most of all, she thanked the Lord, for she felt that he surely was taking care of her, and she could trust him fully for all her needs. Mr. Blyler left Eva with the mills with a promise from her that if ever she became stranded, she would let him know. November passed, and the month of December drew near with its cold, icy, biting winds. With it came a letter to Eva from her sister Neva, who was then living in the central part of the state, with a request from her to come spend the winter with her as she really needed her. Eva replied that she would be glad to come, if only the way would be provided. So in a few days she again received a letter containing means for her train fare. This was what Eva desired, and had asked the Lord to open the way for her that she might see her sister. And here the way was not only opened, but a home was offered to her for the winter. And also she would have opportunity of attending services as she chose. Neva had been very much concerned about her when winter approached, as she feared she would not be cared for. And after she talked to her husband about it, they agreed to send for her that she might not have to be exposed to the cold. How glad she was to be with her sister again, and also to nurse the little 4-month-old son that Neva proudly laid in her arms on her arrival. In spite of all that she endured, Eva was real happy, and her zeal for the Lord knew no bounds. How she needed someone to help her and instruct her, for her blunders were many. Her pastor was faithful to her, and did not fail to give encouragement when she needed it, nor to give her the counsel needed to help her over the hard places for a young babe in Christ. Many hours were spent at the pastor's home, where she would open her heart and receive much needed help. Although her blunders were many, they were never repeated when pointed out to her, for she only made them stepping stones to lift her and get her closer to her Lord. She developed rapidly, for she was desirous of being her very best for God, and she sought him with all the earnestness of her soul to make her the woman she should be. In constantly communing with the Lord, she developed a personality that so hid her crooked frame that those with whom she came in contact saw the deep richness of her life. Winter passed and the rainy weather of spring came, and with it a heavy cold for Eva, from which she did not recover for a number of weeks. With the cold there came 3 openings in her side, discharging pus from her lung. How discouraged she became at times, but still she held on to God, claiming healing in spite of signs and symptoms. She remembered her promise made to him when all doubts were swept away, and she received healing the second time. And she was standing on his promises to her, knowing this was only an imposition of the enemy and a test of faith. Other afflictions came also, but she resisted them in the name of the Lord, claiming victory. With the afflictions there were also other things to bear in the congregation, and in the home that sent her to her secret place of communion with the Lord, where she poured out her heart to him, thereby receiving the much-needed grace to stand and be the real example that she desired to be. In the congregation, there was a young girl that Eva desired very much as a friend, but who resented her strongly. Many were the unkind remarks made to her and slights which were hurtful, and often caused her to go home in tears, but through it all Eva treated all so well, and manifested such a spirit of love that hearts were warmed to her, and she could rejoice over the slights and unkind remarks. She felt that God would surely bring her through as shining gold, for she was surely trusting him. As June approached, a number of the congregation prepared to attend the camp meeting held at Anderson, Indiana. How Eva desired to go. Again she visited her pastor. Eva was a very timid girl, but as her pastor was a woman, she could open her heart to her, and this she often did. "Why do you not prepare to go?" inquired the pastor after Eva had made her desire known. "I see nothing to hinder you from going, for if you will go, I will gladly stay home, and let you go in my stead, for I feel that you need the meeting." "Oh, I could never do that," replied Eva, "for I should feel like a thief if I should go. I know you want to attend the meeting, and I am sure I shall not rob you of your opportunity." "Are you trusting God without any limit to his power?" asked her pastor kindly. "Can you tell some of the things that he has done for you?" "Surely I can," replied Eva. "He has supplied me with clothing, a home, brothers and sisters, and real kind fathers and mothers, and I do not think there is any limit to his power." "Why do you not trust him to supply you with the means to take you to the camp meetings then?" said the pastor. "You have not forgotten your favorite promise, have you? Ask what you will, and it shall be done unto you." "I shall do it," said Eva quickly, "and I am sure the God that supplied me with a Bible from an unknown source can supply me with the means to attend the camp meeting. Will you ask the Lord to help me and supply me with the means that I may go to camp meeting?" "Surely I will," replied her pastor. "Let us ask him now." And kneeling, she petitioned the Lord to help Eva, strengthen her faith in him, and supply her with the means that she might attend the camp meeting with the others from the congregation. Eva returned to her sister's home with a feeling of trust and confidence in her soul, yet at times the enemy would come with doubts. But Eva had trusted the Lord and found him faithful to all his promises, so that doubts could not long remain. How the means should be supplied she could not even imagine, but she was not asking in what way they should come. But she was willing to let the Lord work this out in his own good way. The next day, Neva sent her to town to do some shopping for her, and as it was a beautiful day, she decided she would walk, instead of riding the streetcar as she was accustomed to doing. The walk was quite tiresome to her, and as she reached a park near the business district of the city, she sat down on one of the benches to rest for a few minutes. While she was sitting there, a young man came up and sat down on a bench a few feet away from her, and soon another young man came by and stopped to talk with the young fellow sitting near her. Eva had not noticed the young man particularly when he seated himself near her, but as the two entered into conversation, she could hear them distinctly, and noticed that the young fellow spoke with difficulty and between spasms of coughing. From the conversation between the two, she found that he had just returned from Colorado, where he had been for a number of months trying to regain his health, but instead he gradually grew worse. and the physicians had sent him home as his case was incurable. As Eva listened to the conversation, her heart was moved with pity for the young man, for she saw what would have been her own condition had not God extended his healing hand. Rising, she confronted the young man. As she always carried her little testament with her, she withdrew it from her purse, and opening it, she said, "Pardon me, please, if I seem to be too presumptuous, but I was sitting here and could not help but hear the conversation between you two, and I am glad that I can tell the young man that there is still hope for him." She then related her own experience reading God's promise to him, and with all the earnestness of her soul pleaded with him to surrender all to God and take him as his word has spoken. So engrossed was she in the thought of getting help to the young man, that she had not noticed what had taken place around her. As she looked at the young man, she saw tears rolling down his cheeks, and that he was greatly moved. "Oh, brother," said she, "we have a God who has all power, and when humanity fails, there is still unlimited strength in the all-powerful arm of God. I want to read some more to you, and then I shall have to go." In Hebrews 13:8 we read, "Jesus Christ the same yesterday," and that means the time he cleansed the lepers, raised the dead, and healed poor unfortunates like you and me. And today, and that means at this present time, and forever, and that means all time that will be in the future. And now I want to read you the promise that I call my promise and the one on which I rest. In John 15:7 we read, "If ye abide in me, and my words abide in you, ye shall ask what ye will, and it shall be done unto you." Brother, I have tried the Lord on his promise, and he has never failed me. I have been abiding in him, and have let all his word abide in me to the best of my knowledge. And wherein I have lacked, I have asked him to open my understanding. And then as I come to him, he knows my heart, and I can tell him that I am abiding in him, and that his word is abiding in me, and I have confidence that he will do as he has promised. I have asked him for clothing, and he has supplied. He has also given me a home, supplied me with stationery and postage stamps that I might write to my sister, and given me a Bible. But most of all, when I was suffering and in need of his healing touch, I could rest on that promise, for I was truly abiding in him. And as I asked him for healing, he did not fail me, for his promise is true, and his words are all settled in heaven that they cannot fail. Extending her hand, she said, "Brother, I shall include you on my prayer list, and if you will seek God with all the earnestness of your soul, he will not fail you. But you can make my promise your promise also, that whatsoever you ask will be granted unto you." She turned to walk away, and a deep flush mounted to her cheeks as she saw that quite a crowd had congregated while she was talking. In her embarrassment, the young man who had been conversing with the afflicted boy said, "Lady, that talk was worth $1 to me." And from the crowd came, "And me, and me, and me." So taking his hat, he passed around among the crowd, and then handed Eva $4.50. Thanking them in tears, she walked away. As the young man will now pass out of our story, I shall state that a few weeks later, Eva met him again, very much improved in health, and he told her he had made her promise his also, and that he was again going west to be with a sister living in Arizona.